digital Picasso painting wealth on a screen. My portfolio's a jazz riff, slick and serene. Good morning, crypto, the future's alive. Riding this wave, digital dive. From Bitcoin to Ether, I'm stacking my dough. BC Poor Corp, I'm the star of the show. Wallet on fire, it's a blockchain blaze. Private keys locked up, vaults for days. Mining these coins, I'm the digital prospector. Every transaction's a jazz band connector. NFT spinning like a vinyl record. Rare art, rare beats, value detected. Flipping these assets, my hustle supreme. Crypto jazz freestyle, living the dream. Markets dance, unpredictable swing. Fortunes made with the keyboard fling. Rug pulls lurking, gotta stay sharp. Play the long game, crypto's my harp. The future's alive. Riding this wave, digital dive. From Bitcoin to Ether, I'm stacking my dough. BC Poor Corp, I'm the star of the show. NFT spinning like a vinyl record. Rare art, rare beats, value detected. Flipping these assets, my hustle supreme. Crypto jazz freestyle, living the dream. Markets dance, unpredictable swing. Fortunes made with a keyboard fling. Rug pulls lurking, gotta stay sharp. Play the long game, crypto's my harp.
Green, red on display. Chaos flows like a digital tide. Buy, 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 let the markets decide. Buy, 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 watch it rise. Sell, 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 cut the ties. Ding, 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 the bell don't lie. It's a market frenzy under the sky. Graphs go wild like a jagged race. Algorithms screaming all over the place. Ticker tape dreams and brokers' cries. The rhythm of money electrifies. Bulls charge hard, bears bite back. Profit rides on the railroad track. Buy, 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 watch it rise. Sell, 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 cut the ties. Ding, 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 the bell don't lie. It's a market frenzy under the sky. Ring the alarm, it's a margin call. Leverage breaks, watch the...
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Today, I've got one big headline, and that big headline is about Figma. We also want to take a look at that Bitcoin price action because, we got really, really close to one of those levels we had been talking about all week, and we're still very, very close to ending up filling that fair value gap that we've been talking about. So, before we get into all of that, let's get you prepped for some success. You know what I got pulled up in the background? It's that stock heat map. We are seeing a little bit of some movements this morning. Let's dive on into it because we've got Apple looking to the downside off of its close, 0.71%. Looking to the upside this morning, 1.53. Nvidia also looking to the downside off of its close, down 0.78%. Continuing on that sell-off this morning, down 2.5%. We got Berkshire Hathaway down 0.87% off of its close. Looking to the upside this morning, just a little bit, up 0.13. We've got Amazon looking in the green off of its close, up 1.7%, but getting hit with some hard sell-off this morning, down almost 8% right now. Stock market's looking a little bit like crypto with some of those pumps and dumps. We've got Eli Lilly looking to the downside off of its close, 2.63%. Looking to the upside this morning, 1.01%. We've got ExxonMobil looking to the downside as well, down 0.23%. Looking to the upside this morning, 1.68% so far. We've got Tesla looking to the downside as well, off of its close and this morning, down 3.38% and continuing on the sell-off, down 1.32%. We've got P&G down 1.58%, looking to the upside this morning, 0.35 so far. We've got Microsoft was sitting up extremely hard in the pre-market yesterday, up almost 12%, looking to the upside off of its close, 3.95, and continuing with that upside this morning, 0.62%. Google, on the other hand, looking to the downside, 2.32% off of its close, looking to the downside this morning, 2.31%. We've got Meta was able to maintain most of those gains that it had got off of its earnings call, up 11.25% on its close. Looking a little bit to the downside this morning though, down 1.19% so far. Let's hop over to the crypto side of things because we're looking very red over there as well. Let's scroll it on down. We've got Bitcoin down 3%. We've got Ethereum down 6.3%. XRP down 7% right now. BNB 4.4% to the downside. Solana down 7.4%. Tron doing a little bit better than some of the rest, taking a spot in the market cap to number 8 from Dogecoin, sitting down 0.4%, while Dogecoin is down 8.2% right now. We've got Cardano down 8.1%. Hyperliquid almost sitting down 10% right now. Stellar Lumens taking a spot in the market cap from Shui, sitting down 8.1%, while Shui is sitting down 11% right now. We've got Chainlink down 9.3%. Bitcoin Cash taking a spot in that market cap from HBAR, sitting down 4.9%, while HBAR is sitting down a whopping 12.4%. Avalanche sitting down 8.5%. We've got TON losing a spot in that market cap, sitting down 0.7%, while Leo tokens gaining a spot in that market cap, sitting up 0.3%. Let's hop over to those fear ingredients, because you know what we had been talking about, sitting at that high range of greed, nothing extreme, but still sitting in greed for so long might have led to a little bit of some sell-off. We're seeing that both in the stock market and the crypto side of things. We're still sitting in some greed, just some very, very light greed for the stock market, sitting at 61, and for the crypto side of things, we're down 7 points, sitting at 65, looking like you might see a little more cool off on that fear and greed. We had been talking about some lower levels, and we're getting on down there. Taking a look at this liquidation heat map, you've still got all of that liquidity back up at that $120,000 mark, but now we're getting extremely close to this liquidity at $113,000. We've got that ranging all the way down to about $113,500. Zooming on out, take a look at this 1 month. Now we might need to zoom it out a little bit we'll take a look at that 3 month there. This 3 month should have that liquidity down on the bottom side that we'd been talking about for a while. Maybe model 3 there. Because we had some liquidity that was residing to the bottom. That was at 112,400, being a nice little hotspot of some liquidity. That's on the 48 hour there. Let's get that zoomed on out a little bit. Oh, I guess I'm done looking at the liquidation heat map for now. Let's hop over to that economic calendar, because we did have a little bit more coming out today. Looking at the US, we've got some average hourly earnings today. We've got our average hourly earnings month over month and year over year, and non-farm payrolls. Those are going to be some big market movers for the morning. We've also got that unemployment rate looking like a little bit of an increase there. Definitely not what we want to see here. Scrolling on down, we also got that ISM manufacturing PMI coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Another hot data drop to keep your eyes on. That will be pretty much all we got for this Friday. Hopping over to that Bitcoin chart and saying good morning to the people. Let's get it. We've got Jesse Gluck in here. We've got JR first in those chats. Good morning to both of you. Duality C in here. Good morning to you. Let's scroll on down. Jesse saying that he is a little under the weather. He said he broke his hip. So hopefully everything goes okay with that, and you get that all sorted out, and you end up getting some rest, because that's going to be a big part of your life here coming forward for about the next 6 months. You're gonna be getting a lot of rest. So no more Jesse needs sleep emoji. No more hashtag Jesse needs sleep. It's gonna be hashtag Jesse got sleep. We've got Donata Cabrera in here. Good morning to you. Let's scroll on down. We got Curtis Hill in here as well. Good morning to you. Jesse saying, made a new song. I most definitely did. I've been having a lot of fun with that. So went with that jazzy style intro for this morning. We've got Darren Does Things in here. Good morning to you. Crypto Coin Mindset in the chat. Good morning, lurking in the stream. Having a good day. Have a good day, everyone. Well, I hope you have a good day as well. I went live a little bit later, so you can actually show up today. Actually, I just don't have work today. We got like 3 inches of rain this week, so you can't move dirt when it's mud. So yeah, it's been a nice little week. I've caught up on a whole bunch of sleep. Glitching, just so you know. Yeah, I think it's all fixed now. Was having some issues at the beginning of the stream, but it looks like it's started to sort itself out. I don't know what's been going on with YouTube recently, but seems to have gotten that all worked out. Might have to go in and edit some of those settings on my stream to really get that all fixed out for the future, because it says something about that key frame rate frequency, and I might have to go adjust that. YouTube always changing things around on people. We did get that move into our fair value gap. Yep, looks like it's messing up again. So everyone on X shouldn't be having a problem, but YouTube's getting the middle finger. I don't know what's been going on with YouTube. We've got that move back into the fair value gap here. Got a little bouncing action off of our golden pocket fib extension. The top side of that golden pocket fib extension coming in at that 114,200. And we're waiting to see if we get that move back above and to the top side of our fair value gap here. That's coming in at 15,800. That's an area to kind of watch for this morning, as we do have a little bit of some bouncing action coming our way. You do still have your money flow still in the red here on the daily. That's something we've been talking about, watching that shorter term time money flow bleeding over into that higher term time frame. You've got that prime oscillator and MACD both getting that curvature to the downside here, waiting to see some reversal signals start flashing. I don't think they're going to start flashing before we get to the end of the week. Let's scroll this on in. Take a look at that 4 hour there. 4 hour, you can see a lot of buying wicks stepping on in as we got to those lower levels there. You do see that resistance coming in at the top side of that fair value gap though. So a lot of buying pressure coming in at 114,200, but we are seeing that resistance coming in at 15,800. So that's something to kind of watch for. You do have your first reversal signals really flashing here on the 4 hour, but that money flow still in the red here. Your prime oscillator is getting a little bit of curvature, and your true 7 has clipped out, and you do have some oversold signals as well, but you're not seeing that money flow really switching up too crazy on the shorter term time frame. You can see your hourly here getting that nice little bit of curvature. Same here on the prime oscillator with a reversal signal as well, but your volume's a little bit low, and that money flow still extremely red here. So that's something we are going to be watching for the day. If we do get that short-term time frame money flow switch here on the 15-minute, you might look for that little bit of a push back up towards the upside. For now, we are making some lower highs, and we've got these lower lows coming into play as well. We are trying to hold up the midline of this fair value gap for now, but not looking like it's going to hold with any strength. 15-minute getting that curvature here, and getting the curvature here on the prime oscillator as well, as that money flow remains in the red on the 15-minute. You did get that nice little brief green money flow back here when we were trying to hold that 18,200, and we've been talking about that 18,200 for a few weeks now. That also comes in as a as the point of control for this entire range, and as soon as we lost that, we really lost it with some extreme strength, came back into that fair value gap. Now we're going to need to see if we're going to close that fair value gap, bottom side being that 13,600 price point, and then see what we do from there. We do have a nice little area to come back and retest at 111,800. That has been an area I had talked about for a few weeks. We'll kind of have to see what happens in this fair value gap first, but I would look at us closing it, since we've dropped below the midline of it and got a little bit of some bouncing action off the top side of that golden pocket, and money flow still sitting in the red on all of those time frames. Do we have any alt requests for the day? I can take a look at those here in a little bit. We only had the one news article. We went over that Bitcoin price action, and we didn't have a whole lot more to look at. We did want to take a look at that stock we've been teasing all week and all of last week. So other than that, we can take a look at all of the alt requests that you guys have. Go ahead, drop them in the chat for me, and we will get to those in just a second. Let's hop over to that news article, because I'd been teasing the Figma stock for a few weeks now, and yep, sorry for the blinding white light, but flashbang for you. Let's hop into this. Figma stock price jumps 250% Thursday after IPO. the price for the design software developer Figma surged more than 250% on Thursday to close at over $117 per share after raising over 1.2 billion in an IPO, well over 3 times the 30 to 32 range the company estimated in SEC filings earlier this week, making its 33-year-old CEO Dylan Field a billionaire. Scrolling on down, let's get over to that. Figma was founded by Field, a former Thiel Fellow, began working on Figma alongside his Brown University classmate Evan Wallace in 2012 and first launched a closed beta in 2015. Figma offers a suite of design products accessible in web browsers. Regulators in the UK rejected Adobe's attempt to acquire the company over concerns it would control too much of the market for design software and stifle competition. And this is why Figma had such an explosive move on their IPO. They do hold a decent amount of market share. They are a direct competitor with Adobe, with Google, and with Microsoft on some of their AI technology. So if you missed out on this, I'm sorry about that. You missed a very explosive move, but we've been teasing it for quite a while here, and we will let you know when that next entry point comes your way on Figma. We'll hop over to that chart here in just a second. I had a few alt requests. Ada was one of them. We got VVV requested and Syrup as well. Never looked at Syrup, so we'll hold that one for the end. Tell the nurse you're hurt real bad and you need a sponge bath, says Donato. Oh my goodness, y'all are some degens in the chat. Let's hop over to that Figma chart here because it got that nice strong move. Did open at $32 there, way down here, and then it blasted all the way up to $82 here. Let's get that let's get that nice little let's get that drawn up from those lows to the high there. We're seeing our fib retracement hold very nicely at that 236 and seeing a little bit of some rejection at the tops right now. This is that 1 minute chart. So seeing a little bit of some pullback and back down to the lows at that 236 and $104 would not be too unexpected. The 1 minute does have its money flow coming on out here, but you could easily see that start coming back in after a little bit of some bouncing action at that 236. Kind of hard to get any other data off of this for now, and we'll just keep our eyes on that IPO movement. We've got that pre-market opening up at $137. It is way up here outside of our fibs, and we'll kind of just keep our eye on this going forward, and I will let you know when some next good entry points come in, because you do have a few areas back down here at that $80 range that I'm going to be keeping my eyes on for some re-entry points. I don't even know how to buy stuff on Webull, and I'm so underwater I didn't even want to learn right now. I'm a Canadian classic. It's a Canadian classic. Maple syrup, says JR. Piper Academy, good morning, says Steve Hickey. Well, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's hop over, take a look at some of these alt requests. We've got plenty of time to take a look at all of the alt requests. If not, we'll just do a nice little 45-minute show, just like we normally do on an average morning. So we did have Ada requested. Let's hop over to that Ada chart, see what we're looking at. We're getting some nice movements to the downside here as well. We are very, very close to the golden pocket there. Let's take that out to the daily here. We did get that nice rejection off of the 382 there and lost the 50% as well on that fib. We are looking a little more down as well, as we are getting extremely close to the golden pocket. I see arrow requested. We can take a look at that one as well. I got VVV. We'll put arrow above syrup because I know I've never taken a look at that one. Arrow on the list as well. We're getting extremely close to the golden pocket, starting to see those buying wicks come into play, but we lost 76 cents, which was one of those key areas for ADA before, and now it's going to be a struggle to get back above it. If you're unable to maintain this golden pocket, we've got 62 cents coming in as that next real area to watch for. Let's get this zoomed on in. That daily still looking like you might see a little bit of some continued sell-off, especially if we're going to see Bitcoin come on down and close that fair value gap. 62 cents would be an area of interest for me on ADA 4 hour. Also looking like you might see a little bit of some continued downside movements here. You have your MACD remaining below that indicator line. You've got your prime oscillator getting a little bit of some sideways momentum here, but you're not seeing any reversal signals really starting to flash, and you're not seeing any oversold signals either. And that does lead me to a little bit of some worry about this golden pocket, especially if we're going to be closing that fair value gap on Bitcoin. Let's get this over to the 1 hour here. 1 hour is seeing a little bit of some bouncing action coming into play. As you can see here, we're making lower lows, and we will just wait to kind of see if we make another lower high here. You've got that 1 hour with a little bit of some curvature and curvature on the prime oscillator as well, but that volume is extremely low, just like it was on Bitcoin, and we'll kind of have to see if we can get that volume coming back in a little bit lower here. We do have the 15-minute and the morning looking like it's a little bit toppy here, so you did get a little bit of some pump in action on the MACD and the prime oscillator here, but you didn't see that come with any ADA price movements towards the upside. It has just been some sideways movement that has been overheating on these oscillators here. So getting that curvature back on the MACD and the prime oscillator, looking like you might see that golden pocket come into play before you see a little more bounce in action towards the upside. We would need to break above 74 cents and these highs from back here if we really want to see things flip a little bullish here. Let's get that horizontal ray drawn out and make sure that it's a short-term ray there. Yep. It's going to be that 74 cent point to kind of watch for that flip back to bullishness. That would really give that MACD and the prime oscillator some strong upside movements to continue off of on that hourly chart. Let's see what else we got there. We had ADA and VVV was that next request. So let's take a look at that one. VVV. On crypto, let's see. I think we were looking at it on, yep, there we go, that Coinbase chart here. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at this daily time frame. We lost $2.93. That was that area we kind of wanted to see hold, get some bouncing action off of it, and make our way back up towards the toward the golden pocket. We ended up losing all of those levels, and we lost the platinum pocket as well. So that next real area I would kind of keep my eye on is going to be this $2.29 price point. We did get some nice bouncing action off of $2.50. That's where we got these very equal candle bodies here on the daily. So if we can hold that range, I wouldn't look at $2.29. But if we're unable to really hold that, we get that move back down to the bottom side of our fair value gap on Bitcoin. $2.29 looks like an area of entry for VVV. Let's get this moved on to the 4 hour here. 4 hour does look a little bit bottomy here, as you're seeing some oversold signals. You're getting some curvature here on the prime oscillator, and you got the first clipping out of our true 7 here, but that money flow still sitting in the red, and that MACD still pointing down, and that's platinum pocket would be a resistance area to get above. I see Lunar Beaches Crypto in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. I went early, a little bit later because I got to sleep in this morning. So glad to see you in the chats this morning. Hope you had an amazing last show here on the Piper Academy. And if anyone is not following Lunar Beaches Crypto, you definitely should be. Let me get that pulled on up, and I will share that link in the chat for you, because you need to be following him. He's going to be doing all of his live streams over on his channel, so link in the chat. Give that man a follow. He's been doing a great job on the Piper Academy, and I'm sad to see him go, but he does have to get things all situated for the new baby that's going to be coming into his life. He needs that freedom and accessibility to go live when he needs to go live and not have such a rigid schedule. But that also might mean he can make some appearances on Good Morning Crypto when that baby wakes him up super early. So maybe some positives there. You get the dynamic duo early in the morning. All right, let's scroll this VVV into that 1 hour time frame and see what we're looking at there, because this 1 hour does look like the rest of what we've been looking at. You do get a little bit of some curvature back towards the upside, but VVV already getting that curvature back to the downside here. It is sitting a little bit light green on that prime oscillator, but that money flow rolling back over as you're seeing this platinum pocket come into a very strong resistance. You got those nice, very equal candle body closures on the bottom side of it, and it's looking like you're seeing a little bit of some buying pressure stepping on in here at $2.50, 52 cents, but I could easily see that lost with how money flow is looking here on the hourly. We would need something extremely crazy to happen on Bitcoin, pushing us up to the top side of that fair value gap to really get above $2.61 and that platinum pocket there. 15 minutes and the morning looking a little bit sideways here on the MACD and the prime oscillator. You're getting some reversal signals that have flashed, but this money flow sitting in the red is our big concern here. Prime oscillator really remaining on the bottom side of things, seeing these reversal signals completely ignored as that money flow continues to come on out, and we might get that push back up towards that platinum pocket and $2.60 before we really see that stronger rejection towards the downside, especially as we watch this money flow and these reversal signals stack on up, looking like you might get that small little bit of a push back up to $2.60. Nothing too crazy on that price action, as you're seeing those very big candles be a little bit concerning. Testing the midline of that would be something to kind of watch for, and then continue on down to the bottom side. We did have that $2.29 to really watch for on VVV. Let me get that next alt pulled up. That was going to be Arrow. All right, we will take a look at that one. It's official. My account is toast. On what, JR? Have you been doing too much degenerate, or well, it's not official, but F me? Were you not prepared for the downside moves, JR? We've been talking about them, sir. We've been overly talking about them. We've got all set in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get Arrow pulled up, AERO, and take a look at it on Coinbase, because pretty sure that's what we had looked at it on. Oh, look at that old trend line coming back into play as a rejection area there. Let's get this daily pulled on up here. and we'll kind of have to see what we got going on. We had that nice little break up below our support. We got that nice little break above our support there, and then we got that move back up. We're unable to get up to the 382 there, and then making our way back to the 236. We're holding that 236 quite nicely right now. But we'll kind of have to watch our shorter term time frame money flow, because this money flow here on the daily looking quite nice. This is just higher lows and higher highs here on the macro, so looking a little bit healthier than some of these other projects we've been looking at. It does look like a very decent uptrend, and we'll have to get those trend lines marked out here in just a second. Let's get that trend line on the top side. We've got that coming in. There we go. With those nice little candle bodies. And let me get that one. There we go. Coming in with those nice little candle wicks and candle bodies. And we'll get this bottom side drawn on out, because this bottom side looks quite healthy here. We need to get those nice little deviation to the bottom side, but looking at those candle bodies, getting that nice strong bounce and action off of it, we'll make that a little bit thicker, and make this top side thicker as well. And we'll get rid of this old trend line here, which we got a nice little rejection off of, and we'll zoom this on in. Take a look at this 4 hour here, see what we're looking at. Getting some nice strong hold up of price here on our support line for the bottom side. We did see a little bit of some deviations. This would be some nice little grabs of liquidities. 18 open trades will do that. Yeah, I mean, I said something yesterday. I was like, is JR over trading? And looks like JR was over trading. This is not what you do here, sir. I know you want to make all of the money, but this is why I have like one trade open at a time, and that's on Bitcoin. And all I trade is Bitcoin. Yeah, you know, being a DGen is all fun when the market's going your direction, but as soon as the market doesn't go your direction, you're a little bit screwed, sir. And this is why I preach safety, and I take one or maybe two trades, depending on the time frames, because sometimes you get those nice little crazy bounces in the middle of your big move to the downside, and so you're like, okay, well, we're gonna hedge this, and we're gonna do like a 75x long in the middle of the downside move. And you catch a little money in both directions. But what you don't do is you don't have like 30 open trades that are all in the same direction. Because if the market goes the opposite of your direction, you are big screwed. So we will get you all trained up on that, JR. You know, there's lots of things to trade, but you only need to trade like one or two of them. If you trade Bitcoin with a little bit higher leverage, you'll get the same gains as those alts. Or if you trade one or two alts and you're only using a small amount, you don't get as screwed here. So this 4 hour does look like you could continue to see a little bit of some downside on Arrow, but we're kind of seeing that money flow head our way. I know, because I've done it. Well, not 18, but too many, says Lunar Beaches Crypto. Yeah. Trust me, I learned when I was back in high school trading on stocks. And you're like, hey, well, look at this. Everything's going towards the upside. We're going to put all of our money going the same direction. And then you get one little market move to the downside because say something goes on in the Middle East, and then you're just SOL, and that's what I don't do anymore. You know, I keep a portion of money that is dry powder. I keep a portion of money that is just for trading, and then I keep a portion of money, which is the biggest portion of my money, as just long-term holds. And that's kind of how I average that out. My trading account is like 15% of my total money, and that's how I like to keep it, because the big part of trading is keeping your money. And if you don't keep that money and put it somewhere where it's going to keep you earning money, which yes, it's not earning as quickly as if you were trading, but if you secure those profits in something that's going to keep getting you profit, those profits might pay off the taxes, and so that whole amount of money that you made trading is now taxed free because it got some gains, you know. Especially over here in America, those long-term taxes or versus short-term taxes, I'm only paying like 18% on my short term, but if I can get something that's going to go up like 10%, most of that money is now tax free. So just a little bit of a way to play it. You want to keep your profits. You don't want to re-gamble them all the time, JR, because then you end up screwed. So arrow looking like you could see a little bit of some continued downside here on the 4 hour, but we are bouncing off of some support, and this 236 here. We'll kind of zoom this on in, take a look at that 1 hour, see what our money flow is looking like there. Money flow looking a little bit less muted on the sell off as we're trying to get that curvature back up. You're getting a curvature back up on the prime oscillator as well, but you're still sitting heavily red. And if we lose this, those next real areas to kind of watch for below the 236 are coming in at about 72 cents. Looking like that's where we got a lot of play off of. We got that here, we got that here, and we got that here as well. You do have some areas back down at about 69 cents as well. That's going to be here and here and here. Those are those two areas to kind of watch for. Gives you a little bit of a zone there from 72 cents to about 69 cents if we lose this area of support, which is quite possible if Bitcoin's going to close that fair value gap. You do have the hourly here, getting those lower highs and lower lows, seeing if we can make these very equal lows. And then you know what Lunar Beaches says about equal lows or equal highs all the time, those like to get swept because there's probably some liquidity residing underneath that. We'll push that price action down, sweep the liquidity, and then you're kind of screwed. You got a 72-cent area coming into play, which is below our support and our 236 here. You've got that sideways action on the prime oscillator, getting a little bit of sideways action on the MACD as well, but still looking in the red on money flow. Let's get that 15-minute and the morning pulled up, see what might be heading our way here. Seeing a little bit of some bouncing action here, but money flow, Jesus, really in the red here on the 15-minute and the morning, as you're getting that curvature back over on the prime oscillator and a MACD as well. So looking like you might see a little more bouncing action off of that support line that we have drawn up before you make a decision in either direction. I would really wait to see what Bitcoin's strong move is going to be, but that 72-cent price point is going to be that first real area to watch for. Let's get that horizontal ray drawn up so you can see that a little bit better there. 74 cents coming into play there. Let's get that as a medium term time frame to watch for. That's where we got some nice bouncing action off of, and we've got that 69 cent coming in. Let's get that on a higher term time frame so we can get that drawn a little bit better there. Horizontal ray, and then we've got those 69 cents. There we go. Got all that bouncing action off of that. I guess 71 cents. So it gives you a little bit of a zone to watch for on the bottom side if we lose our support and that 236. Trying to get above the 236 right now, so that's that area to kind of watch for now. We've got syrup requested, so let's get that pulled on up, and then I'm not seeing any other alt requests, so let's take a look at that. If we get any other alt requests, we will take a look at those. If not, then we're going to wind the show on down and we'll send you on your way. We've got Alexo Crypto coming up here in 30 minutes. And if you aren't in Alexo Crypto shows, you definitely should be. That man is a beast on that 3-minute chart. We got Meetin' One Florina, INIT. Well, we'll definitely add that one to the list and do that one next. INIT. All right, we had syrup requested. Not sure which one you would like me to take a look at it on. Well, let's pull it up on Binance here. And we will zoom this one on out. Take a look at the daily time frame. Woo! What a crazy sell-off wick there, sir. That is quite crazy on some price action. We did get above our 236, got some bouncing action off of it, saw some rejections on those golden pockets, and now we're making our way back down to that 236 and 34 cents here. You do have that MACD and prime oscillator looking back to the downside here. There we go. Got that looking a little bit better here. You've got that MACD line pointing directly to the downside as you're printing those bigger red candles here on the histogram. Your money flow is starting to come on out and you're getting that curvature on the prime oscillator. Volume is a little bit low on the sell-off, so looking for that volume to come back in on the 236 to really send us back up to the 382. You did break the lows from below the 382. That was coming in at 40 cents. We are sitting directly above that for now, trying to maintain that price point. Let's get that drawn on up there. We're sitting directly on the top side of it, but if we lose that 236 is that next real area of interest for me. Let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at the 4 hour, see what we might be looking at there. Are seeing a little bit of a green candle starting to be printed. Your money flow got that brief little visit into some positive money flow, but we're making our way back to the downside here. You've got your MACD getting a little bit of sideways momentum. Prime oscillator also getting that sideways momentum there as well, and we'll kind of have to see if we can get back up to the 382. But if we do see that downside moving on Bitcoin that we were talking about, then that 236 would be that real area of interest. Let's take a look at that 1 hour. 1 hour money flow extremely in the red, not too unexpected as you saw that 382 being lost with some strength. You've got that reversal signal that really flashed when you try to make that move back up to the 382, and then you made our way right back down to our support area. Now we're going to do some battle with that support area and kind of see what we got coming our way. You've got lots of buying wicks coming in at that 40-cent price point. We would really need to get above 43 cents to kind of have that bullish price action. You do have that prime oscillator getting some heating up as we are moving sideways. That's not what you really want to see here on the hourly. MACD getting that break above our indicator line, but you're doing so with a little bit of sideways momentum there. So definitely not what you're looking for here on the hourly. Let's see what that 15-minute is looking like. 15-minute getting overheated as you move sideways. Not what you want to see. You've got that money flow sitting in the red, trying to make its way back into the green here, but you zoom that on in, you're getting that curvature back towards the downside here. Let's watch that money flow here on the 15-minute, see if we can get that back into the green here, see if we can get back above that 43-cent price point where we got all of that bouncing action off of, and then make our way back towards the upside. I would look, if you get that upside move, that 43-cent price point being a resistance area though. Let's get that as a short-term time line. We got that 43 cents being that area I would kind of watch for some resistance. We got some nice bouncing actions off of it. We tried to maintain that 43 cents right there, but we lost it with some strength and came back to our very strong support area. All right, we had AMP requested as well. Let's take a look at AMP. All right, I'm not sure that I've looked at this one before. We'll take a look at it on Coinbase. Oh, I guess I have taken a look at AMP before. Whoa, like that's crazy. I don't remember ever taking a look at AMP. We got us sitting below that platinum pocket. We got some nice bouncing action off of 00315. That's our strong support area, which we have held. We've got those nice liquidity grabs to the bottom side on the shorter term time frames. This is that daily look. So let's see what we're looking at here. We've got your money flow sitting in the red on the daily, but things are getting a little bit low on your prime oscillator. MACD still pointing to the downside, but you could very quickly see that switch. We got maybe a band-aid in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Let's zoom this on in, take a look at that 4 hour, see what we're looking at there. Got that nice strong move back below our shorter term time frame area. That was 00383, and then we lost it with some strength. We got that nice little move back up towards it, and then continued on our downside trend as that money flow continues to come out here on the 4 hour. You can kind of see that a little bit better there. Money flow still on its way out, getting that next little curvature down as your prime oscillator continues to show some reversal signals and is very close to that bottom side. Alex not streaming, he's moving. Oh, I didn't know that one. Well, I'm sorry about that one. I hope to see y'all at the next one. Then we will just not push forward to anyone, because it is Friday. Y'all deserve a little bit of some rest here this morning before you make your way to that morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern time. There's going to be some data drops that you need broken down by Piper this morning. Let's get that scrolled on in to our hourly time frame, see what we're looking at there. This one looking a little bit better than some of those other alts we had looked at, as your MACD's very close to breaking that indicator line here with some nice curvature towards the upside, but your prime oscillator getting that nice little sideways momentum here and getting that curvature back towards the upside. I'll take a look at it in just a second. AMP was requested right there, and I had it pulled on. It was very easy to pull on up. So we'll take a look at it right afterwards. I know that's going to be a naked chart. Apparently I'd taken a look at AMP before, so that helps with the TA going a little bit faster. We are waiting for that break of money flow back into the positive here. I would want to get above 00362 before you see that continuation up to 00383. That's going to be that shorter term time frame area to watch for some bouncing action off of. We'll make that a higher term time frame line now. That's going to be 00383, or we might see that strong resistance if we can get above 00362. If not, watching back down for 00315 and our very strong support. All right, let's take a look at the 15 minute getting a little overheated as we get to sideways momentum below that 00362. So looking like you could continue to the downside after that very brief little move of money flow into the positive and not seeing it do too much, meaning there's a little bit of some exhaustion on the shorter term time frame as that money flow gets that hard rollover. You've got those bearish divergences stacked up, a reversal signal as well, and volume starting to get a little bit of some rollover too. So I'd wait to see for that stronger push back at some lower levels. All right, let's take a look at INIT. INIT. I've never looked at it before, so let's see on Binance what we're looking at here. Get this zoomed on out to our higher term time frame. Got some crazy buying wicks on this one. That's kind of nice to see. And let's get a fib pulled on up from our lows to our high there, losing that platinum pocket there. Let's get that reversed, pulled on up from our highs to our lows, looking like that 236 was our resistance area. So let's get that other one pulled back up there from our highs to our lows, losing that from our lows to our highs, losing that platinum pocket. Daily is getting a little bit of some curvature here on your MACD and prime oscillator as your money flow tries to make its way back into the green. Thoughts on impact of data today? What's bullish slash bearish? Well, we can hop over to that economic calendar here right after we do some TA on in it, and then we will break that on down a little bit further. I need another drawdown nap, says JR. Well, JR, stop being a degen, get yourself some good sleep, and you might make some better trades if you're not doing 18 of them at once. I tease, but definitely should be well rested, especially when you're playing around with all of that money, sir. It gives you a little bit more time to and energy to really focus on those things, because you know what happens on the other side of things? You go to sleep and then you wake up and then your account's crapped to bed. So get to sleep where you can, sir. Let's see, Curtis Hill. Yeah, I'm holding off until the 5th to the 17th. Going to be hunting lows during that section. Where was that to? Curtis Hill saying, so I'm holding cash till later today or tomorrow. I've been holding a little bit of cash waiting for next week. So I've been talking about those lower levels on Bitcoin, and I've been beating them up. I've been talking about retesting the highs before we want to see that next strong move towards the upside, really clear out a bunch of liquidity. That's that $112,000 area. 111.8 is where I really had my eye. That's where we got those candle body closes that were very equal, and then we'll kind of have to see what price action does from there. In it, looking very battered down here, though. We do have a few areas to kind of keep your eye on the shorter term time frame. Let's get that pulled up on the hourly here. Get these lows drawn on out as we're bouncing up against the lows from underneath the platinum pocket. Kind of seeing it try to hold right now. That's 003916. Let's get that horizontal ray drawn out. That's from the bottom side of all those candle moves. There we go, right there. A lot of bouncing action in that area, but it looks like we've started to lose it with some of this price action. So I would look to the lower lows back here, 3383. So that's kind of an area to watch for. Your 4-hour is getting a little bit of some sideways momentum here, but you're seeing that curvature here on the not MACD, the prime oscillator, getting a sideways momentum, but your money flow in the red here on the hourly. So let's see what that 15-minute is looking like. 15-minute a little bit toppy here as you remain on the top side of that support area. You do have your money flow extremely in the red here, but your volume's starting to pick back up. So we're gonna look to see if we can at least hold 38.71. If we lose that, looking for a 33.83. If we can hold this, really get above 41 cents, then I would look back up towards the platinum pocket there. Let's get this drawn out as that short-term time frame area. That's going to be 41.85 here on the Binance chart to really watch us get back above. If you can get back above that, then you're looking quite nice for a continuation to the upside, and maybe around that 43 cents. If you can get above that platinum pocket at 46 cents would be that next real area to watch for. How about a quick look at your favorite alt, INJ? Well, it's been a while since I've taken actually it hasn't been that long. We looked at INJ the other day because it was making some crazy moves towards the upside, but we talked about if we couldn't hold that 15.41, then we would make our way back down to 12.14, and that's kind of what happened. We're making our way back down to that 12.14 area, after we made that nice little push back above 15.41, really faltered before we can get up to that platinum pocket there. Let's get this pulled up on that daily. see what we're looking at there. You can see those are nice, very equal candle body rejections off of 1541, and we're looking a little bit bearish here on the daily, getting that rollover on the MACD, breaking below our indicator line. You've got those bigger candles being imprinted on the histogram as your prime oscillator heads on down, but your volume's trying to hold a little bit steady here. So if we could see that volume start to pick back up with some money flow back down at that $12 and about 41 cents to about 11.89. That's kind of that buying area I would watch for. We do have that 4-hour looking a little bit bottomy here as we're starting to see those buying wicks stepping in, but looking like you're losing some volume while you're doing it. You've got that MACD, getting that MACD and prime oscillator getting a little bit of sideways momentum here, but nothing too crazy. True 7 clipped out here on the 4-hour, but we will need to see how that money flow looks on a shorter term time frame. I would want to get above $13.26 before we really see that strong move back towards the upside on the higher term time frame. This is that hourly that we're looking at here. We've got 1321. Let's get that pulled from those equal candle bodies there. 1328 is that area to kind of watch us get above on that hourly before I get that push back up to that $15 range. We will do that here in just a second, Lunar Beaches. We got about 5 minutes left before I wind that show down. And Injective was thrown out right before, and that was one of my favorite alts back when we were really seeing some alt season pushes. So 15 minutes in the morning, looking quite similar to everything else, getting a little bit overheated as you're seeing that sideways momentum. So not really what you want to see. Volume starting to pick back up, your prime oscillator getting those small little bits of movement, but really looking at that $12.41 price point first, before you get that move back up to $13.28. All right, let's get that economic calendar pulled up, because LBC wants to know the breakdown of today's data. We do have some heavy data coming out this morning. Going to be some average hourly earnings month over month and year over year. Looking like you're seeing a little bit of an increase there. Not too unexpected, as you've seen the dollar kind of losing a lot of strength. I don't think that has a very big movement on price action. This non-farm payrolls is going to be that big thing to watch for, as you do see that slow down just a bit. 147K prior to 110K forecast, not what you're looking for. That could push us down on that price action if you see that coming in around that 110. If you do see that beat, I would see a little bit of some price movements towards the upside. That's where we gave that upside target. But as people realize that it's really not actually bullish to beat the forecast, and it's still some crappy data, you would see that get that move back down to the downside. The next big data drop to kind of watch for would be that 10 a.m. time frame. That's going to be ISM manufacturing PMI, looking like you're seeing that forecast come in at 49.5. Nothing too crazy on the movements there, so I don't expect any big price movements off of that one, and I would mostly be looking for that bigger movements coming in with that non-farm payrolls and our unemployment rate 4.1 prior, forecasted 4.2. So that's the real big one, combined with non-farm payrolls, that I would really watch for. If you do see that coming in at 4.2, things heading in the wrong direction. Does give a little bit of some hopium towards a rate cut, but not when you're also seeing inflation starting to tick back up as well, because we did see those inflation rates increase from that 2.5 to 2.7 on our last data drop. So not really what you want to see, because the labor market doesn't negate the inflation data when they're taking a look at rate cuts, especially when we got that PCE data yesterday. Let's scroll it on up, take a look at what we saw on that PCE data, and that was coming in on forecast here on the month over month, but that year over year was 2.4 prior, forecasted at 2.5, came in hot at 2.6. So metrics are looking in the wrong direction on inflation, and job numbers are the only thing that kind of sometimes give you a little bit of some hopium for a rate cut, but not enough hopium for a rate cut because of the inflation. So you might see that little bit of a move towards the upside, and then people being like, oh, that doesn't mean crap, and then continuing on to the downside there. We do have that 13,600 being that area that we are watching for. That is our fair value gap close, and you might see that filled today. So if you're not trading safe, you definitely should be. Don't pull a JR. Do not have 18 trades open that are all sent in the same direction. Just be a little bit less of a degen. If you like to trade, go ahead and trade, but do so with some safety. Have some nice stop losses that protect your profits. I don't want a rate cut. Lol, says LBC. Hey, I don't want a rate cut either, because I'm more worried about what happens after the rate cut. I've been saying since last year that we would get no rate cuts in 2025, and that's kind of the direction that things have been heading. I know we did take a look at this the other day. Let me get it pulled up in the background. September, looking like a higher chance for no cuts, holding rates steady. Everyone was talking about September being that first rate cut chance. It very, 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 very quickly changed up. October has less than a 50% chance on that CME Fed Watch tool for a rate cut, but starting to see that no rate change really get some, really get some increase on that. You have December also sitting at that about a less than 50% chance. My real first chance, which we will talk about on our next Wall Street Weekly on my channel, is Q1 of next year. I am looking at that March area for our next big real rate cut. You've got those chances at rates sitting at that 4% and 3.75, taking up about 70%. So that's a real area I'm watching for some rate cuts on. So we'll see y'all at the next one. JR saying, yeah, no one said I was smart. Well, sir, we will sit down with you. It's not about being smart. It's about not putting out too many feelers all at once, because that's how you get hurted. And we're not trying to get hurted. We're trying to make money. So we will get you all on that. Good thing you don't have to be smart to trade, says LBC. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty true. There's a lot of degens out here that are making some money. Hopefully everyone has a great Friday and a great weekend. We will see y'all at the next one, and make sure to wake up and trade safe, because today's going to be a good day.
Blockchain buzzing, wallets on the grind, digits in the ledger, futures intertwined. Satoshi whispers, secrets in the breeze, digital gold stacking sats with ease. Proof of work, my hustle never idles. Hold on my survival, charts like Bibles. Altcoins flipping, portfolios tripping, DeFi dripping, liquidity sipping. Good morning, crypto, the block don't sleep. Digits dance
Candlesticks flicker, patterns in the flame, bears in the shadows, but I'm ahead of the game. Decentralized vision, my keys, my domain. From the ether to the moon, I'm riding the chain. Metaverse flexing, pixels on my fit. NFT collection, rare gems, no split. Staking on the low, APY on the rise. Good morning crypto, welcome to the skies. Mining dreams in a digital mine. Gas fees high, but the payoff divine. Flip that coin, watch it land on its side. Heads or tails, the future's decentralized. Fees high, but the payoff divine. Flip that coin, watch it land on its side. Heads or tails, the future's decentralized.